Should you let Amazon fulfill your product, or should you fulfill your product yourself? You've likely heard that FBA is a very popular way that Amazon sellers sell their product online. However, there's also FBM, and in this video, I'm going to share the differences between the two by sharing both the pros and cons of each. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share which one I would recommend using, especially if you are a beginner in the space. Let's go over the pros first for FBA. FBA means fulfilled by Amazon, which means that Amazon takes care of all the shipping and things that are related to your product for you. And that is the first big pro for FBA. You don't need to ship it yourself. Since FBA takes care of shipping all of your product, you don't have to worry about how to send out your product to your customers. Once your sales volume gets pretty high, you're not going to want to ship each individual unit by yourself and then go to the post office and ship it out every day. That is a big waste of your time. But with FBA, you're able to just send in your product to the Amazon warehouses and they take care of everything else for you. So any customers that come to your listing and purchase your product, they are taking care of it all. So you don't even have to look. It really adds to that passive income lifestyle. Pro number 2 is that you don't have to handle any of the returns. Anytime there is a return through Amazon, so a customer returns your product to them, you don't have to handle it. They take care of all of that for you. That is a big plus as well because returns can be very tedious, but Amazon FBA takes care of it all for you. And for pro number 3, which is the biggest pro for FBA, is that you'll get more sales using FBA. When your product is fulfilled by Amazon, it becomes Prime eligible, meaning that customers who pay for Prime will get their packages within 1 to 2 days. And that is a huge thing that appeals to those customers. So when you do FBA, your product is automatically Prime eligible. And this is going to be a huge way for customers to actually consider getting your product because they know how Prime works and they'll be more likely to buy your product knowing that it arrives in just a couple of days. The theory is Amazon actually promotes items that are Prime eligible because that is an overall better experience for the customer. So doing FBA is a big win. Now for the pros for FBM. FBM means fulfilled by merchant, so you are taking care of everything related to your item when customers want to purchase it. Pro number 1 for FBM is that you don't have to pay Amazon fees. Unlike with FBA, where you are paying a monthly service fee to Amazon, you don't have to worry about that with FBM. Though it may be worth it to pay those Amazon fees because with FBA, they are taking care of everything, FBM is a way for you to save some money. Although you are paying for a lot of shipping fees when you send out your product every day to customers that are buying it, but overall, this is a good option if you are looking to save some money. There's definitely some areas here where you'll be able to save from those fees. Pro number 2 is that you can offer more options for your product. When you do FBA, you have to guess how much inventory to send into the Amazon warehouse. But with FBM, you have control of your inventory and you are getting all of those orders directly, so you know exactly how much of the inventory you have to keep. Besides, you do have your inventory with you so that it's a lot more manageable and you know exactly how much you can have based on your sales volume. Pro number 3 for FBM is that you can have made-to-order items. This is a nice pro to have for FBM because if customers want to request something special along with the item that they're purchasing or they want to customize it in some way, if you do offer that option, they're able to do that with you directly. Whereas with FBA, they can't do that. They have to just order whatever's in stock. This is a really good option if you have custom orders, a custom product where customers can choose what they want to make for that item. So this is a really good option for you. But along with these pros, there are cons. So let's now dive into the cons of both FBA and FBM. And there are some big cons here, so make sure to take note. Let's first start with FBA. The first con that I have for FBA is that there are high Amazon selling fees. Because with FBA, Amazon's handling all of your inventory storage, sending it out to customers, and any returns that may come through, there are some selling fees associated with that. You'll have to pay for using the Amazon site first, so there is a monthly charge for this. There's also a percentage that they take from you each month. So there are some high fees associated with this. I go into more detail what these fees actually are, the percentages, and what your monthly costs may be just to sell with FBA. So I'll link that video up above for you guys. Con number 2 is that Amazon may lose or damage your items. Compared to FBM, where you are managing your inventory, so you know how you are packaging it and what you have with you. Amazon is receiving your items and then storing it or doing whatever they will with it, and a lot of employees are handling your items. So there is a possibility, a higher risk for your items to be damaged or lost because they are getting so much into their warehouses each day. Now, if you're doing FBM and you're sending your items through a postal service, this of course can happen as well. You never know what happens once it leaves your hands, but in any case, it's just something to keep in mind. Now, Amazon will reimburse you for any items they lose or damage. They'll pay in full, so that is a plus, and that does alleviate some stress, so it's a good thing to keep in mind. Now for the cons for FBM. Con number 1 is that you do have to ship out your own product. Now, again, discussed earlier, there is some advantages to selling and managing your own items. However, it does take a lot of your time, and you have to keep up with orders each and every day. So it's going to require a lot of your time when it's a really easy way to streamline the process if you do FBA. Con number 2 is that you might not get as many sales as you would with FBA. When you fulfill by merchant for your product, you are not Prime eligible. So customers might not even consider your product because they're not sure what that shipping time may be, and they might not know how to do the return process, or if something is damaged, how to handle that process. Whereas with FBA, people are more familiar with Prime eligible products. They know how it works, they know they're going to get it soon, and they're more likely to feel comfortable with their decision to buy an FBA product, a Prime eligible item. This isn't to say with FBM products you're not going to get sales, however, it's just not going to be as high as with FBA products. It also all depends how you want to market your product and all the reviews that you can get on your listing so that customers do feel comfortable with purchasing from you, but that shipping difference there with 2 days versus maybe a week or however long it takes for your items to arrive to a customer, it just can cause some tension or maybe some extra consideration for your product, where if it's Prime eligible, you kind of don't think twice about it. You just know that you're going to get it soon, and it's a worry-free process for the customer. So we've talked a lot about what FBA is versus FBM. So now let's decide which one is the best option for you. Ultimately, the decision is up to you. However, if you are doing a private labeled product, or if you have a passion product like I've done with my product Vino cards, then FBA is a no-brainer. But if you have a company that has a lot of products and a lot of custom-made orders, then FBM is a better option for you at the beginning, and if you want, you can always switch over to FBA. So that option is always open for you, and maybe once you feel comfortable with the process, or if you feel like the overload of your sales coming through and you don't want to handle shipping or individually wrapping each item, then FBA can be a good solution. For most people, I would recommend FBA from the start, and for most of you watching, there's a lot of advantages to having an FBA product. It certainly fits more of that passive income lifestyle because the only thing you're doing is shipping in inventory to Amazon and they take care of everything else. And that's been a wonderful way for myself to keep my Vino cards product very passive and very easy and manageable. If you'd like to know the exact cost of starting your Amazon FBA business, I shared all of my numbers and broke down each step of the way of my journey. I'll go ahead and link that video right here, so click the video to find out how much it costs, and I will catch you in that one.